A very warm good morning to all of you students. This is Gautam Chakravarti from DPS Ranchi. As you know, the whole world is going out is going on a very tough situation, that is COVID-19, and we have to take care of our health and our dear ones. For that, we have to stay safe at home. We are using the digital mode through which we can interact with each other and discuss many topics as per the CBSE curriculum. Whatever the topics are there, we have to right now till the classes are not get open, we have to discuss everything through this digital mode. So time to time we will give the chapters and exercises to you also, so that whatever the chapters you will learn, you will solve those exercises as well. So let's start today with database. As you know, the database is what? It is a collection of tables. It is a collection of interrelated tables. We have also learned database in class 11th, and in class 12 its extended parts are there. So today we will start with those extended part, but before that we will just review the some important things about class 11th, that what are the contents are there in the database. Like a database, as I told you, it is a collection of tables. There are lots of we will classify the database commands in the form of SQL, that is structured query language, into three parts, that is DDL, data definition language, second DML, data manipulation language, and third DCL, database control language. So today we will start with more on SQL. So let's start. As you know, SQL is what? SQL is a non-procedural language used for creating, accessing, handling, and managing data in a relational database. Now, what one question comes to your mind, that what does this SQL mean here? Okay, so it is a common language which is applied in any database. Either it can be either it can be MySQL, either it can be Oracle, either it can be a DBase. In any programming language, this SQL is used, and the work of SQL is to fetch the information from an existing database. And here this one term, very important term, is given here, that is relational databases. What does relational databases mean? The database which are the databases which are interconnected to each other, or you can say, if you are considering a single database, in that case, if the tables are interlinked with each other, then it is called a relational database. Is it clear? Okay. Now next is, what are the common features of database? Now you can see here, the first feature of SQL is what? It is a language for accessing and manipulating database. Accessing means if you want to gain some information from a database and its tables, and if you want to make some changes in the databases. Okay, like if you want to add some columns, if you want to make changes in the data types of the column, any sorts of work. Okay. Now the second point is what? SQL commands are used to create and retrieve information from relational database management system, that we usually call RDBMS, and it provides an interface between user and database. So through SQL we can retrieve some information, means we can generate some queries, and we can access those queries within a fraction of a second. That is not possible in the case of traditional file processing system. Let's move to the third point. By using SQL commands, we can search and fetch any data in the database and perform other important functions like create tables, add records, modify data, remove rows, delete tables, and etc. etc. Like through database, as I told you earlier, that through database we can fetch any data in the database within a fraction of seconds, and as well as we can do lots of other functions, like how to create the tables inside the database, how to add records in it. So records in it are called tuples, rows. Okay, how we can make changes in the data that is the modification of data, means how to work with the records, that we already work with it with the commands, that is update command you heard about, and we learned in class 11th as well. Then next one is the remove rows. If you want to remove some unwanted data, or if the data which is not required, if you want to delete those rows, you can remove it also through delete command. And as well as we can also delete the whole table. So more than that also we can do some other works. Let's move to the fourth point. The fourth point is what, through SQL commands we can perform joining by establishing relationship between two tables. So by being there in one table, we can access the data of another tables in an existing database. Okay, so that is what called joining. So by being there in one table, we can access the information of another table. That is possible through SQL command. Let's move to the next slide. In MySQL, data manipulation is done by using queries with function. Now you can see the definition of functions. So functions can be defined as a set of predefined commands which when called performs certain operations and returns a single value. So a function contains two parts, the function name and arguments. Okay, so arguments, it is also called parameters. So there are various types of functions are there, like some inbuilt functions are there. Okay, SQL provides some inbuilt functions, like we have also learned in class 11th, like some group functions are there. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now this is the syntax of function. You can see it clearly. So first of all, you have to write down like syntax to use a function in the select statement. First of all, you have to write down select, then you have to provide the inbuilt function name, then next is the field name, where in which field you want to apply this function, then from keyword you have to use, and then you have to specify the table name. Let's move to the next slide. Now there are two types of functions in inbuilt. Also there are two types of functions. One is single row function and another one is a multiple row functions. Okay, let's move to the next slide. What does single row function mean here? This operate on the single row and return one result per row. It can be used with select, where and order by clause. So commands are also called clauses. So with the help of this single row function, it can operate on a single row, as it is clear, means records or tables you can say, and it will return only one result. We will see the examples later on. Now let's move to the multiple row function. What does multiple row function mean? So this operate on the multiple rows and return multiple rows. So they can be also termed as aggregate functions or group function that we are talking about. So what does aggregate or group function mean? So it will work on the multiple rows and it also return the result on multiple rows. Okay, so we have to discuss in detail about the aggregate functions. Now you can see here, see this is the aggregate functions in MySQL. So basically there are 5 aggregate functions are there. Most important one is the count function. The work of the count function, as you can see here, it returns the number of rows containing non-null values in the specified field. So non-null values means the rows which contain some values. So it will return the non-null values. Next function is sum. It returns the sum of the non-null values in the specified field. As you know, we can do the addition. AVG stands for average. It returns the average of the non-null values in the specified field. Fourth one is max function. It returns the maximum of the non-null values in the specified field. And the last but not the least, that is the mean function. It returns the minimum of the non-null values in the specified field. Okay, is it clear? Now next one. So here you can see we have taken a sample table called teacher. Here there are 6 columns or fields and attributes you can say. That is, these are the attribute names are TNO, teacher number, TNAME, teacher name, TAddress, teacher address, salary, that is the teacher salary, DPT underscore N, that is the department number of the teacher, and DOJ stands for the date of joining. Okay, so here you can say we have given the information of the 14 teachers, their name, their address, their salary, department number, and date of joining. Remember one thing, date of joining, it is given in the format of YYYY, that is year dash mm dash dd. mm stands for month and dd stands for date. Is it clear, students? Okay, let's move now. Let's start with the count function. The count function is used to count the number of values in a given column or number of rows in a table. So one like count function is generally used to count the number of rows in a table. So this one query is given for you to count the number of teachers are there in the table teachers. Just consider that table we are discussing about. So the answer will be what? Select count, in bracket we have to provide asterisk, from teacher. So asterisk means all. So it will count all the number of rows in the table teacher. So count function is also applied with number of things, like you can see the application count with the null column value to count the number of teachers withdrawing salary in the table teacher. If you will see the table teacher, you can see here there are out of 14 teachers, there are 3 teachers who are not getting the salary, okay, in that specific month. So how many are left? That is 11. So total 11 teachers are withdrawing salary in the table teacher. Is it clear? Okay, let's move now. Next one is a distinct clause with count. So distinct is a very important, in distinct, it's a very important clause is there. The distinct clause is used with count to eliminate duplicate rows values in the specified column. So like here you can see, if you are considering this one query is given here to count the number of departments in the table teacher. So if we are just considering that table, so just see the field department number. So there are number of duplicate. If I consider this table field department number in the table teacher, just so many duplicate entries are given here. Okay, like D02 is repeated 5 times, D03 is repeated 3 times, like this way. Okay, you can see here. So in this way it will eliminate all those duplicate entries and show you the result as 5, means there are total 5 departments are there. So wherever the duplicate entries are there, distinct clause will eliminate those values. So see the query result, select count, in bracket you have to write down distinct, then specify the field, and that is department number from teacher. Next one is the sum function. The sum function, as you know, is used to add the value of column. So if you are considering that table to find the sum of salaries of all teachers, so just focus on the field salary and it will count all the non-null values. Okay, so it will count the salary of the teacher and it will give the result as output as 11,000. Similarly, we can the next one is the AVG function, that is average function, is generally used to calculate the average of the specified column and it will calculate the average salary of the teacher. So just focus on that field salary and it will calculate the average of that one. So the result is 37,363.6364. Next one is the max function, and the max function is generally used to find the maximum value of the column. So just see the just focus on that one table. In the salary field, you just look after that which is the highest salary, that is 52,000. So it will fetch 52,000 from it. Okay, in through max function. So here we have to write down select max, then the bracket salary from teachers. Okay. Next one is the mean function. In a similar manner, the mean function is used to find the minimum value of the column. So we have to write down select the query is to find the minimum salary entered in the table teacher. Okay, so we have to write down select mean in brackets salary from teacher, and it will generate you the list salary of the teacher, that is 26,000. Okay, so for today this much is there. Okay, in the next session we will discuss about some more important clauses like order by, having, group by. These are very important clauses are there. Okay, hope students you are doing good. If any query will be there, you can generate your query through ERP. Okay, and we will also give you some important questions to you, some assignments to you based on those functions. Okay, so take care of yourself. Bye bye. Okay, stay safe. Thank you so much.